Okay, tonight I am going to start this diamond painting of a world map. And basically, I'm just using it as a distraction or a complement to putting my granny square blanket together. When I started that and started making the granny squares, I was going back and forth between doing a diamond painting and doing the squares. Well, I got really tired of looking at those squares. They were making me crazy. So, what I decided to do was try it again and maybe alternate between this world map and also, hang on one second. Hey, Terry, how are you tonight? Doing this world map and then alternating between that and putting the squares together so I can finally get this granny square blanket made. And also, I've been really wanting to do this particular diamond painting, so I'm really excited to get started on it. Hi, New Horizons. Hey, thanks for coming in, and welcome. Everybody here, I believe right now is doing just fine. Terry seems to be hurting, and I'm sorry about that, Terry. I found the world map wheels at Michael's, believe it or not, and it was during one of their 30% off sales. So instead of paying $29.99 for it, I only paid like $19.99 or $20, something like that. So, plus we got they do military discount there at Michael's, and my husband is a veteran, a disabled veteran, and so he gets a military discount just about anywhere he goes. Oh, around here, this is a kind of a military town. Keesler Air Force Base is right down the street from us, and the CB base in Gulfport, Mississippi, is right down the street from us too. So it's a kind of a military environment, and a lot of places do accommodate retirees and active duty military with discounts. Okay. I don't know, Wheels, but that would be a great question to ask them. A lot of places around here do, but I don't know about Michael's. That's more of a, what do you call it? Shoot. National chain is what I'm trying to say, as opposed to a local business. Now, I know the local businesses definitely do first responders. A lot of them do. Because our town really, the major employers in our little small town is the school district and the police and fire and, paramedics and that stuff. So we really like all of those folks here. Well, the city does. Let's put it that way. Oh. See, I'm second generation firefighter retired. Well, thank you so much for your service. Thank you, Wheels. My husband is third generation military retiree, Navy, of course. I say, of course. I feel like I've been a Navy wife longer than I've been anything else. But he's retired now, and that was the happiest day of my life. Not his. He would go back in a minute if they would let him. But I'm tickled to death to be free, free from it. And not that it wasn't good to us, because It definitely was. It's a hard life, though. Very hard life. My husband was on submarines, and he was gone a lot. A lot. Submarines. And he wasn't on the big boomers. He was on fast attack submarines. So they're a little smaller. They have smaller crews, and they are gone a lot more. USS Lexington was my dad's assigned ship. Oh my, that was a while back, wasn't it? Was that a destroyer? Wheels? Was that on the Pacific coast? Willing to the channel, Rose Garland. Welcome. Yes, Rose Garland. Catherine, thank you so much for coming in. You are from Tasmania. That's wonderful. I have a friend who lives in Tasmania. I mean, it's a YouTube friend. I've never met him in real life, but he's a really cool guy. He hasn't been on YouTube in quite a while, though. Actually, there's two Tasmanian friends. Oh, it was an aircraft carrier. No kidding. See, I'm showing my age now because I don't believe I'd ever heard of the Lexington. A WW2 carrier. Okay. Well, that makes sense. That's why I don't know anything about it. The first one I remember, I've been a Navy wife twice. My ex husband was also in the Navy, and he was stationed on the Saratoga, USS Saratoga. That's the first carrier that I ever had any experience with. And then he was stationed aboard the USS America. And then, let's see, let me think. Oh, and when Poppy, right before he retired, they were going to send him to a squadron that was going to deploy to the USS Abraham Lincoln. So, but those are the ones that I'm the most. Now, the Forrestal, that's an old one. It's been decommissioned many, many years ago. That's the one that caught fire. And I believe back in the 80s, mid 80s, maybe early 80s. It did a lot of damage. But I'm from a military town. Tokyo Rose referred to the Lexington as the Get Ghost. Okay. Now I do know a little bit about Tokyo Rose. I remember those stories from I think I read a book about it or something. She was something else. Maybe it was just an article that I read. But it was very interesting, whatever it was. I remember it. I had such a good day today, y'all. I got to spend about 3 or 4 hours with my grandbabies. And I have a special grandson. Um, he's developmentally delayed, and he still does not speak at 4 years old. He'll be five. He'll be five in July. He's getting better as far as being able to communicate, but still about 75% of what he says sounds like gibberish. But I enjoy hanging out with him so much. Today, we slayed 3 or 4 dragons, and we flew out of trees with grass made wings. Now, mind you, this is his imagination. And then we ate some shrimp fried rice. And we went outside and we played with the chickens. And my granddaughter, of course, she was in the house. I took my kids. I have two teenage kids that still live at home. So I took them over there with me, mainly just so I wouldn't be over there by myself with those two rascals. But the big kids all hung out in the living room watching Moana 2 and playing on their tablets or games or whatever. And me and the little boy, we just hung out and had a big time outside. And I was happy to do it. Thank you, Wheels. Thank you so much. Hey, Doggy Life, how are you? Are you doing okay today? I'm starting this diamond painting. I've had it in my house for probably, well, I think since right before Christmas. And I've been wanting to do it, but I've had other things. Listen to my dog. You hear him? He's barking like a fool out there. I might have to get up and let him in just a few minutes if he gets too out of control. But anyhow, I've been wanting and wanting to do this diamond painting, but I had too many other things pressing. I made myself a little cardigan and I made the granny squares for my blanket. And y'all, I'm making this stuff for myself. Do you know I've been crocheting for 50 years and I hardly ever make anything for me? I make things for my family members, for people I know, for friends. But I very, very rarely do I make something for myself. And I said, you know what? This is Granny's year to enjoy her craft and be able to have some of the fruits of my labor. You know. Now I am making a shawl for a friend of mine. In fact, it's about halfway finished right now. I was working on that last night when I went live. But this this little art form here, I don't know if you would really call it an art form or a, it reminds me of, what do you call it? Paint by numbers. And I used to love that so much when I was a little girl. And this kind of feels like a grown up version of it, if that makes any sense. Hey, Lori, how are you? Thanks for coming in tonight. I appreciate you. So, this is one of what I was going to say is this is one of the most relaxing hobbies that I have come across in a very long time. And while I really love to crochet, and crochet really helps my, you know how us women are. And if there's any men in the chat, Terry included, I know you probably understand this just from watching your significant others deal with it. But it seems like us women, our brains never be quiet. And crochet is one hobby that I have that really helps my brain and my mind settle down after a long day or when I'm stressed out and thinking of all the problems that, you know, everybody has problems that need to be solved. My life is really easy, honestly. I don't have any complaints, but there's always something that's on your mind and troubling, you know. I think my biggest problem is just all the what ifs, you know. Like this morning, I'll give you an example. My daughter woke me up at 5:30 this morning, and she wanted to drive over to Mobile to see her boyfriend. And they were going to go kayaking, and then they were going to go on a little hike. And she said, I'll be home at 2 o'clock. So I said, okay, be careful. And I tried to go back to sleep, and I couldn't, because all I could think about is she's not used to driving that far. It's about an hour and a half from here. She's not used to driving on the interstate. What if something happens to her on the way? And what if I can't get to her and she needs me? Just all the things, all the things. Excuse me. So I got up and I started doing dishes. I'm so sorry, y'all. It is definitely allergy season in South Mississippi. I'm not even playing. Our cars were absolutely covered in pollen this morning. And I was out in the garden today doing a little bit of work, and had to come back inside because my eyes were watering so bad I couldn't even see. But that's okay. Little bits at a time. Little bits at a time. Tomorrow, before I go out there, I'm going to take some Zyrtec and some Flonase. I want to make a corner to corner that looks sort of like your diamond paint. Oh, Lori, that would be so beautiful. If you do that, please show it on a channel or something. Jane Doe, thank you so much for coming in. If I didn't acknowledge you, I apologize. I thought I did in my head, but I might not have out loud. Is that music too loud for y'all? Please let me know. Let me see something. Okay, y'all can see the bottom of it. Okay. I'm like, here I am doing this diamond painting and putting all these drills on, and what if they can't even see me doing it? That'd be the most boring video on the planet, wouldn't it? It's so funny how quickly this goes by, too, isn't it? One minute you think it's going to take forever, and then all of a sudden you look at a section and it's completely finished. And now, when I diamond paint, I like to do little like 3 by 3 inch sections. I went a little farther than I normally do this time because there's just a few of those up there. So I'm going to start on this row and go up and then come down. And when that section's done, I'll move over and do some more, another section. I know everybody has a different method of doing it, but I'm also very new at this. I just did my first diamond painting sometime around Thanksgiving, I believe. I think it was in December, to be honest with you. Because I went to, I had been watching Jackie from Handcrafted by Jackie. I've been watching her do diamond paintings on YouTube. And I thought, oh gosh, that looks so pretty, But then I had seen them before in just in my shopping and in my travels, and I thought, well, who wants to put a bunch of little dots on a piece of paper? But when I saw her doing it, it was like, well, gosh, she really makes that look easy and fun, and maybe I should try it. Well, then I went to my parents' house for Christmas, and my sister-in-law had done some diamond paintings, and they were in frames at my parents' house. And I got to looking at them, and I said, you know what, I'm going to buy me one of these. So I came home after Christmas, and I bought some on Amazon. And the ones I bought on Amazon were fun to do. They were a lot smaller than this one, I promise you that. This one is 20 inches by 30 inches. And I'm just showing you a little bit here. If I'll show you the rest of it. And I think I can. It's there's a lot. Oh goodness, here I'm gonna spill everything. Oh, I will. I already have it designed in Stitch Fiddle. I'm not doing the color changes on yours, but using variegated ombre green for the land. Oh, that's going to be so beautiful. I can't wait to see that. And Wheels does 20 by 20 row sections. Oh, that's a good idea. My husband did the mushroom painting that way. He would do it in rows, basically. And that was really a cool way to do it, too. I'm going to keep pulling until I get to the end, y'all. It's just going to take me a second. And all the way over here, we have Japan. And here's Australia, and Tasmania's right there. And I'm at the end. I don't know what this is. It's some islands. I have no idea which ones, y'all. But how cool is that? I am tickled to death to have this. I've always loved maps. I love globes. And years ago, I wanted to get a wall hanging that was kind of like this, but it had the circles. Y'all know which ones I'm talking about, right? They almost look like nautical type maps or what have you. And I fell in love with it, but it was so much stinking money at the time for me that I didn't buy it. And when I saw this map, I thought, holy Toledo, this is affordable. It's something I can do myself. It's going to be beautiful. And when I'm done with it, for those of you who have been to my channel during my regular videos and live streams, not the vertical type, I have a blank wall behind me that is nothing but a creamy colored white. And I thought, you know what? I could take this beautiful, colorful map and hang it on the wall. Don't. What kind of bug are you? Ew. Go away, Nat. If it got in that glue, I'd have lost my mind, y'all. Because this glue is like super sticky. Y'all know that. But anyhow, I was telling the story about my grandson, and I think I got sidetracked. But we had a wonderful time. And y'all, he is so beautiful. He's a pretty little blonde-headed, blue-eyed boy. And he's built like a linebacker. And he's so funny. Even though he can't talk, he's still really, really funny. He loves horses. Obsessed with horses is the best word. And he likes to play the game Zelda on his whatever video game it is he's got. I don't really know. I think it's a PlayStation or something. It's his daddy's game, and him and his daddy sit on the couch all the time and play together. I hope I get to sit with him again pretty soon. It is, isn't it, Jane? And I love the colors too. Absolutely. Well, I love any kind of bright colors anyway. The more color there is, the better I like it. I used to work at a jewelry store when I was a teenager, up until I was about 20. And y'all, that was the best job I ever had. It was fun. It was challenging. You got to dress up and be pretty all day. And I loved it. I loved jewelry. And people used to come in and pick out, especially women. Women would come in and they would pick out these little tiny dainty rings. And it used to drive me crazy because I'm like, why would you want to buy a ring that nobody can hardly see? For me, the more colorful and blingy it is and the bigger it is, the better I like it. Y'all, I really need to let my dog in and put him in his bed. If y'all could give me like a minute and a half, I can get that done. So I'm going to keep the music going, and y'all can look at this painting as much as you want, talk amongst yourselves, and I promise I will be back very, very shortly, okay? Come on, Virgil. Come on. Let's go night-night. Come on. Good boy. Good boy. Night-night. Ooh. I made it back. He's such a good boy. Um, what's so funny is ever since we got him, he's been listening to classical music to go night night. So I have a Google, oh, what do you call it? You know, the AI thing, kind of like an Alexa, but it's Google. So every night I put him in his bed and I say, okay, Google, play classical music. And it turns on. And as soon as it starts playing, he usually settles down and goes right to sleep. He just turned a year old in, oh, my goodness. I got the wrong bag, y'all. There. Hey, DJ. How are you doing tonight? Oh, fiddlesticks. I've got to get them all out and then put them back in somewhere else. There we go. You know what's really neat about this particular diamond painting is that the glue, not all the other ones that I've ever worked on, have had so much glue overhang. And you'd get your hands in it and things would stick to it. And this one does not. I mean, it is right on the edge of the painting there. And I really like that attention to detail that this company has doing it. You just got off of a TikTok live. You know what? I downloaded TikTok well, a while back. And then where's my bag? 29. Okay. I'm going to fold this little piece of paper up, the bag that it came in, and stick it in here with this so I know what color that is. But anyhow, and then I took it off of my phone because it kept sending me so many messages. I mean, it was like an overload of messages, and it was driving me insane. I didn't like it at all. So, 22 is V. Okay, we'll do V's. Okay. Um, Anyhow, so it did the same thing. It kept sending me all these messages, and I even turned off my notifications thinking that that was going to help. It did not help for whatever reason. It just kept sending them. Timu does the same thing. You can turn off everything. You can turn off the whole app, uninstall it from your phone. This just sends you crap. So I took it off my phone again, and I don't have TikTok anymore. I wouldn't mind doing, getting enough followers that I could do a live on TikTok. Maybe stream it to multiple platforms. But it's not that important to me. But I do hear that you can, play music and kind of do what you want on TikTok. You don't have to be so politically correct, maybe is not the right word. You can be more yourself. Of course, what you see here is what you get, y'all. Seriously. I mean, I do have a mouth like a sailor when I'm not on YouTube. And I mean, if somebody gets me going, I'm going to go there. But that's not a all the time thing for me. I'm pretty much the same way in real life as I am on this platform. I don't hide a whole lot from anybody. I'm too old for that mess, Absolutely. Too old. Oh, let's see. I'm going to do something real quick. I hope messing with my computer a little bit. Man, I really miss Jackie and her content. Really hope she comes back soon. And if anybody hears from her, tell her we're all thinking about her. If you know who she is. I don't know, it might be a moot point. I think Lori knows her, and so does Jane Doe. Wheels, I think you might know Jackie too, don't you? Let's see, what number am I? What is this? Number 22 are the V's, right? Yes. Phew. So what did everybody have for dinner tonight? I told y'all I had my shrimp fried rice. We got it from, there's this place in town, and it's a really small little place. And the name of it is Danny's Seafood. But the sign out front says Danny's Hot Food and Seafood. And I don't think that was the intention of the owner to have it read like that. But that's how it reads, Danny's Hot Food and Seafood. So that's what I've been calling it ever since we moved here. I'll say, honey, go pick up something from Danny's Hot Food and Seafood. It's kind of like a little family joke. But boy, they have the best egg rolls I've ever eaten in my whole entire life. They have butterfly shrimp that will just make you cry. And their fried rice is very good. So I ordered that and sent my daughter to go pick it up for all of us tonight. And it was so delicious. Yes, I play music on my lives, and I think you only need 100 followers to go live. Huh. Well, how do I keep them from sending me notifications all the time? If they didn't blow up my phone, I'd put them back on there. So maybe we need to have a conversation about that. One of these days, anyhow. Because I don't like my phone disturbing me when I don't want to be disturbed. That's why right now I have it set on Do Not Disturb, so nobody can call me and text me and aggravate me while I'm enjoying myself and enjoying y'all's company. And y'all sure don't need to hear all of the notifications while I'm doing a live stream. When I watch live streams, it kind of irritates me if somebody's on their phone and all of a sudden it starts ringing and they want to answer a phone call, or something like that. That's not how you do that. Of course, maybe I'm just old school, because to me that's just bad manners. One of the things I super try not to do is have bad manners. I was taught from a very, very young age that manners is about the most important thing a person can have. What do y'all think? Manners and a good work ethic. Well, there's dog number 2 out there raising her voice at me. But I don't have to put her in her bed. Her bed's in here with me. That's why I try to get all of that before I go live. The butterfly shrimp would make me cry for help. Are you allergic to shrimp, DJ? I think I remember you telling me that you were. Oh, Lori, I'm sorry. I didn't see her. Well, Lori, if you watch the replay by any chance, good night and have a wonderful evening. I totally missed that, Jane Doe. What's wrong with me? Thank you for saying it. Thank you for bidding her farewell for me. I appreciate that. There we go. Look at me going bigger than the area that I was intending to store. Oh, I know where I was going with my story about my daughter and getting up at 5:30 in the morning. That's how long I've been up today. I didn't get a nap today, and I usually get a good nap, usually around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, until my son gets home at sometime around 3, because he's still in high school, and the bus brings him home. So when he opens that door to come home, I usually hear it and I get up, make dinner, etc. Tonight, I've been up all day long, which is unusual for me. The older I get, the more I think naps are absolutely glorious. And the great thing about it now that I'm older is I don't have a whole lot of responsibility. so I don't have to feel guilty about taking a nap. Yay, Camille, how are you? I am diamond painting. We took a vote last night, and everybody, there was a choice between my kitty cat diamond painting and this one. And so everybody in the entire chat decided that I should do this one instead of the kitty cat. And so that's what I did because I told everybody, I said, y'all are my viewers, y'all the one that have to look at it. So tell me which one you want to see. And they did. Now, they all did like the cat one. So we all agreed that I would do this one first and then I'll do the cat one next. After I do that cat one, I'm going to have to order some more because I do have one that's a Christmas tree that I need to do. And I might do that in the middle of July, like a Christmas in July thing. Ooh, that sounds like fun, doesn't it? Just wondering, you say he gets home about 3. What time does the last bell ring? Good Lord, DJ, I don't know. I have no idea what time the last bell rings. I know they have 4 classes a day, and I know he leaves my house at 7:20 in the morning. That's all. And I know what time he gets home. But actually, he probably gets home closer to 3:30 now that I think about it. But still. You know what the school does now? Remember when you had your little ones and you would check them out of school to go to the doctor, or they had this tummy ache and you had to go pick them up from school because they were puking or something in class or whatever. Well, now at this school district, I don't know if it's this way all over the place, but here they've made a rule that if you check your child out before 1:30 in the afternoon, that they are counted as absent for the whole day because they have to complete 60% of the school day in order for it to count. And recently, my son had a migraine, and I went to the school to pick him up. And I had to talk to the lady in the front office. Well, the front office lady and I, we don't get along real good because, number one, she's nosy and thinks she has to know everybody's business that comes in there. Like, why are you checking your child out? I don't have to tell them that. I'm the parent. I could take my kid home if I want to. But also, she's very rude to parents who come in there, and she doesn't even acknowledge that you're standing there, to be taken care of. And she's the only person that can call your child to the front office to check out. So we've had words, and I've told her on a few occasions that my time is valuable and I don't have time for her nonsense. She can attend to what I need, and I will leave and be out of her hair as soon as she does. But anyhow, that's beside the point. She told me that, well, if you check him out now, it won't count for an attendance day and it'll be unexcused. I said, first of all, you don't know what you're talking about. It's not going to be unexcused. I said, he has a chronic illness form signed by his doctor that allows him to miss up to 3 days a month because of his migraine. Second of all, since you want to be nosy, all I have to do is send a note in to so-and-so saying, Excuse Murphy's absence. See chronic illness statement. I said, don't worry, lady. Your school's going to get paid, regardless of whether my son comes to school or not. I was so mad at her. I wanted to choke her. Tried to tell me what the heck I'm supposed to do and what I'm not. First of all, I don't care if my son is counted absent any day if he has a migraine. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring him home. I'm going to give him some medicine, and he's going to get rid of that migraine at any cost. He suffers so bad. And he has ever since he was 7 years old. And the worst thing in the world to me is to see him in agony. Lots of schools try and treat parents like students. Yes, Camille. Oh my gosh. Yes. It is the same. I've had to tell them before, look, I'm not one of your students. You can treat me like the adult that I am. They don't want me to treat them like an adult. No, ma'am. I'm glad I had a nicer first desk. You know what? We had one at the middle school, and I loved her so much. She was an amazing lady, so helpful. And at the elementary school my kids went to, same thing. Miss Michelle was a wonderful lady, extremely helpful, very responsive to parents' needs. But this lady here, she needs to retire. I don't know how old she is. She looks like she might be a little older than me. And I'm 60. So she's well on her way out. Okay, I say I'm 60. That's not exactly the truth. I'm 59, but I keep telling people I'm 60 because I'm pushing 60 and it's right around the corner. And honestly, it's a little traumatic for me to be turning 60 this year. And I'm trying to get used to saying it. So please forgive me for not telling the truth just then. It was just what did they say in politics? I misspoke. But that's the reason I did it. I gotta psych myself up to turn 60. I have a feeling this might be the most traumatic birthday that I've ever had. Because honestly, when I turned 30, it didn't bother me a bit. And when I turned 50, oh my gosh, that was one of the happiest birthdays I ever had. Truly. And you know, there's something about turning 50 that is absolutely liberating. And I can't really explain it or put it into words. But if you've been there and you know, if you know, you know, right? I tell people I'm 30, but I feel 100. I bet you do, DJ. Some days I bet you do feel 100, honey. But DJ, let me tell you something. You know about Violet's problems and all of her medical stuff that she's been dealing with lately. Well, you would not believe the difference in her since she got a diagnosis and she's on medication to help it. She's like a different person. She's full of energy. She's been going to the gym and working out. She's lost 40 pounds. And she looks amazing. She's got her a new boyfriend who's really, really nice to her. Now, do I like him? No, because he's a boy. YouTube unsubbed you. I was like, where's her videos? Oh, Mike, I'm sorry they did that. I hope you resubscribed. That way you can get videos whenever you want to. I'm doing a diamond painting tonight of the world, a world map. And I'm very excited to start this. Oh, fiddlesticks. You know, this, I've got this blue goopy stuff that helps the drills stick onto the little pin thing. And I do believe that the pink goopy stuff that you get with other kits works better and lasts a little longer than this blue stuff. This is the first time I've used the blue one. So that's something to note. This is from the Make Market brand that Michaels carries. Now, I will say that these symbols are a lot easier to read for me than the ones that I got off of Amazon. Those could get a little difficult. But these seem a lot easier to read. And you know, with my old eyes, my vision's bad anyway. So it says a lot if I'm able to determine what I'm supposed to do next just by using my glasses and not having to get my magnifying glass and all that stuff out. Because I really look old when I get that stuff out. Oh, that one's, there we go. You know how sometimes you get these diamond paintings and you have these little pieces of, I call it trash. It's just a little piece of the drill or resin or plastic or whatever they're using. And sometimes the drills will have extra little bit on it. There's not a lot of that in here. I've done, what, 3 trays now? No, 2. And that was the first one I came across, which is not bad. So maybe that's another good thing about this particular brand. Oh, there's a, let me get off that ad. There we go. Okay, let's see. Hi, Jane. Yeah, I had to have happened recently. I'm glad you caught it too, Mike. I really am. I would have missed you. Of course, I see you on the other channels too, but still, you know how that is. So what's going on good in the garden, Mike? I'm glad that you resubscribed because tomorrow I'm posting a video I made yesterday about all of the construction going on in my garden. You know, me and Poppy haven't planted a thing yet because we are remodeling the entire garden. We took down all the beds because, you know, I have to garden with raised beds here so I can control the soil, and there's a lot of salt in the soil here. So I have found that raised bed gardening is better for me and the way I do things. But the termites ate all of my garden beds and, well, they started collapsing. So we decided that this is the moment. We actually should have, and I kept telling Poppy, we need to get busy on this. We need to get busy. But he was traveling a lot for work, and just the weekends were not ours until recently. So, but he did do a lot of work last weekend. He set all the posts for the new fence. I'm putting a cattle panel fence around it. And I've increased the size of it. It was 18 by 18, and I know that's not a lot, But y'all, my yard is really small too. And I've increased the size from 18 by 18 to 24 by 16. And then at the very back of the garden, I'm going to have an arbor that will add another 4 feet to that. So 16, 17, 20 by 24 is what it's going to look like. So I'm very excited about it. I'm ordering new metal garden beds. And I already have some here. And I just ordered some more that should be coming in starting tomorrow. We're in false spring, frustrating. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I want to plant, but probably snow Sunday. Oh no, 71 day and snow the next. That you like your metal beds? I'm so glad that you said that because I really don't have a lot of experience with them, and I was really hoping that they would be what I need because honestly, that's about our only option for longevity's sake. You know, I mean, I could build some more wooden ones, but in 3 years' time, the termites would eat those too. It's like throwing money in the trash, you know. So I decided to go this route. But my yard is a mess right now. The whole backyard is tore up. I've got, blank posts sticking out of the ground that are supposed to be a fence. Um, there's soil in every kind of container I could find to put it in because all the beds that we tore down, I had to salvage the soil. So it is a mess out there, but I did a walk around and I'm trying to paint a picture with my words and my video of what it might look. If you have a little bit of vision, you might be able to see the picture that I'm painting. So there's that. If not, then I would highly suggest anybody who's interested in that particular part of my channel to subscribe and follow along because I will be posting videos of all the updates and all of the accomplishments. And then eventually, finally, the final product, hopefully full of growing food and bountiful, bountiful harvests. And hopefully it'll be beautiful as I think it's going to be. That's what the last time I designed that garden out there, it was more for functionality. To grow as much food as humanly possible in a small space. And while I have been listening to folks talk about the economy and, how people should be growing food and nothing but, nothing makes me happier than sunflowers and zinnias in a garden mixed with all the other growing food. Nothing makes me happier than seeing squash and cucumbers and gourds and things hanging from an arbor so that they're easier to pick and they aren't as susceptible to pests that are in the soil because they're hanging in the air. And it just looks prettier to me. So this garden that I'm doing is going to be more... Is it going to be about growing food? Of course. I mean, that's what I do. But I'm going more for an aesthetic look and something that's going to make me happy. And something that will be more like a sanctuary for me out there. In addition to feeding the whole family and hopefully, people say that gardening saves you money on food. I don't necessarily believe that. I spend more on my garden than anything else, really. tons of seeds every season. And I go and get my tomatoes from the farm supply store that I love. And we've built 2 chicken coops in the past 5 years because we kind of outgrew the first one. So Poppy built me a better chicken coop. Do you know one thing I need to do? I gotta go down to Tractor Supply and grab me some pine shavings for the chickens. They have kicked it all out. Oh, fiddlesticks, look what I've done. I don't have my tweezers. Oh, come on. Got it. Phew. Good night, Terry. Take care, my dear. I hope you feel better. So, Mike, what do you have planned for growing this season? Because I know you grow all year round anyway, don't you? With the hydroponics and stuff. But what are you going to grow outside this year? You know, I bought those indoor gardens, those AeroGardens or knockoffs of the AeroGardens, and never did plant a thing because I was just busy doing other stuff. I probably should have done that. Boy, there's more V's in here than I thought. When I first saw them, I thought it was just this little area right here, and now I'm looking and they're everywhere. Of course, that's the symbol for this color. Outside will be lots of peppers, onions, herbs, squash, and greens. That sounds delicious. If I get my garden in time, well, first of all, I am going to do my peppers. I mean, I really like growing peppers. Now, I don't like the real spicy ones like most folks do, but I do love some sweet peppers. Not necessarily bells. I do like poblanos, but that's about the hottest I can stand. And they're not even hardly hot compared to, I mean, to most folks, they think that's nothing. But for whatever reason, my mouth does not like a spicy pepper. Um, Now, I do like, also, I like to grow serrano peppers as well. Those are a little spicy for me, but there's a couple of dishes that I put them in. Um, you're not going to believe this, but I've got some daddle pepper seeds up. Well, they're not really just seeds, it's the whole dried daddle pepper that I had saved from growing it a few years ago, probably close to 10 years ago. And they're up there over my sink right now because I'm going to put them in a paper towel and see if I can't germinate them once it gets warm enough in the greenhouse. I'm thinking I'll risk super early planting. Ooh, peas, yes. Even if the cold kills, you can use for... Oh, yeah, yeah. Hey, Mona, how are you doing? Thanks for coming in tonight. Mona, let me tell you something. I know I told you I had some yarn for you, and I still do, but I put them in these vacuum sealed bags, right? Well, the vacuum sealed bags that I bought apparently were trash because they wouldn't stay sealed. In fact, 2 of them had complete holes in them. So I had to order some more bags. Well, I ordered, this is hilarious. No, it's not. It's aggravating. But anyhow, let me tell you the rest of the story. I sealed them all up, and I had yours put off to the side, and I put the other ones in the closet, the ones that I'm saving for, my stash. I woke up the next morning. You ain't gonna believe this. My cats had been playing with the bags all night and scratched holes in every single one of them. Now, mind you, there was only 3 for, to send to you, but still. So now I have to purchase more of them and keep them away from the cats long enough to get them in the mailbox. Can you believe that? I was so mad I could have chewed glass. Because I'd already had trouble with the ones that I, bought not being worth a darn. And then for the cats to do that, I was just livid. I'm thinking I will. Oh, okay. I start most my outside garden inside. Do you start it in your hydroponic stuff, or do you start it in soil? What you want to tell me, Mona? They were trying to get the yarn. So let me tell you something. I can hear you saying that in my head. They were trying to get to the yarn, and they succeeded on one ball of it. But that's the only one they dragged out. The rest of them, they were little tiny claw holes all across the seam, well, where they could reach it. God, I was mad. And it was all 3 bags. You'd think they could have just stuck with one. But now I'm probably just going to be able to send 1 bag at a time. I told you that, I think. Because y'all, shipping ain't cheap. But now, Mona, don't you dare say that you'll pay for the shipping, because I'm not going to allow it. Okay? It's a gift from me to you. Because you're so special. You're special. I love this. You know what? I thought when I first opened up this diamond painting that doing this solid background, I thought it was more solid than it is, okay? Because there's a lot of, it's 30 inches of these colors. And I thought, gosh, that's going to be so boring. But it's really not, because of the way I'm kind of excited to see how it's going to work out. Let's just put it that way. Okay, I'm going to quit with this color now and move on to another one. I'm special too. I don't mean that kind of special, Mona. I know what kind of special you're talking about. Oh, goodness. Y'all let me know if that music's too loud. Now you're making me want to do diamond painting. Well, you should, if that's what you want to do. If you go to Amazon and you look up diamond painting, you would be surprised at how inexpensive they are. I've seen them for $3.99, $4.99, $6.99. So it's a really, now this one was a little more than that because it's so big, and I got it at Michael's. Of course, they're ridiculously expensive on most everything, unless you get that 30% off. And that's what I did with this one. Yeah, Timu has them really cheap too. And you know what? My friend Jackie, she buys them off of Timu, and she said that they're just as good as any other diamond painting, and she's enjoying the crap out of them. So I think if you want to do that, then you ought to do that because they're. I'll tell you, this is. I was telling the chat earlier in the evening that this is probably one of the most relaxing hobbies that I have come across in a very long time. And I can't quite figure out why. I don't know why I like it so much. But I do. And, I do this, sit down to do it, and I get a little section done, and all of a sudden I look at the clock, and a couple of hours have gone by, or maybe 3, maybe 4, depending on how much I do. And oh, that's another thing you don't want to do is spill your bead or your drills. They call these drills. You don't want to spill your drill. One thing I would advise to prepare you for getting into this hobby is to get you a whole bunch of little baggies like these, because it makes doing this a lot better, because some of the companies put their drills into these little plasticky packages, and this one is identified by a number 31 right here. This number down here is the number of the painting. So, but number 31, you look at your thing here and it's a dot or a square inside of a circle. Well, I got a lot of those, so that's what I'm going to do next. But if you were to try to use just this plastic bag here, they'd be falling out everywhere. I don't know how you could reseal that. But with these Ziploc baggies, some came with this kit. But in a lot of kits, especially the ones from Amazon, and I'm going to assume Timu as well, they don't come with the kits. They just come in these things. So get yourself some. And now, you don't have to get these little bitty tiny ones. You can get any Ziploc bags. When I first started out, all I had was sandwich bags, and I used those. And I used a magic marker to write down what number and what the symbol was on the sandwich bag. But since this came with a few of these little baggies, then I've just decided to use them tonight. I did buy some little snack bags. They're a little bigger than this, probably twice the size of this. But those, I can use those too. My brain doesn't give crafts like this. Too much patience and intricacy. Well, I understand, Mike. I do. Because I'm a big picture kind of lady myself. And little tiny details usually irritate me. But this is pretty straightforward. And there's nothing complicated about it. You just do what it tells you to do, and you got a picture when you're done. And I really like that. And this is a great craft to do between crafts. This is the craft that I'm using to distract me from putting my blanket together. And actually, it will encourage me. It did last time anyhow, so let's see how it works. I'll do this for a while, and then when I get tired of doing this, I'll move over to putting my blanket together, and we'll switch off and switch off until both of them are done. I'm hoping that it doesn't take more than a week. And I know that when Poppy gets home, he'll help me do some of this as well. He enjoys it a lot. But now, Poppy's one of the guys, when he was a young person, he really used to like to put models together, airplanes, cars, you name it. So that's a real detail-oriented, intricate project as well. Then again, to me, Legos are Legos are a little overwhelming. I think it's because they have so many directions. Wife's home, in the bushes a bit. Okay. Well, thank you, Mike, for coming in. And I hope we'll see you in a little bit. Did you see my new toy I got? Let me think, Mona. No, I did not see your new toy because all I saw, I wasn't on your live stream Sunday, was I? I saw you last night on Miss Peachnut. But, no, I don't believe I did see your new toy. Tell me about it. Now I'm curious. Oh, you know what? I did too. I just saw it today on did you do a shorts video? The ball winder. I did see it. You are going to absolutely love that thing. I know I love mine. And mine's not near as nice as yours. That one they sent you is really nice. It is awesome. Jane Doe, I was really. Weren't you surprised when you got that? I would have been like blown away. I think maybe I should get me a post office box. You know, Mona, you are probably one of the only people that ever sent me something on from YouTube folks, other than Grumpus and Marcel. I got the prettiest wine glass from Marcel. Um, she just sent it randomly one time because I broke mine, and she wanted me to have it. And I kept it for about a year and a half, and then the dog knocked it over and broke it. So Now I just drink wine out of a coffee cup when I drink it. And I don't even drink wine that much, but when I do. So if you ever see me with a coffee cup, get suspicious. I'm getting ready to wind up some more. Well, didn't they send you some yarn too? I don't know what yarn it was because when I was watching it, I was on my way over to see my grandbabies and babysit them for a little bit. And as soon as we pulled up in the driveway, is when I saw you pick up that skein of yarn and talk about it looked kind of peachy colored, and that's where I stopped, and I didn't get back to it. I'll go back and look at it later, probably tomorrow. Oh, come on. You know what? I'm right. This goop doesn't work near as good as the pink kind. You have to just keep doing it. I've got the pink stuff here. See? I like this better. Y'all, my cats. I have a wall of, basically, it's a cat wall in my house. And it's got a floor to ceiling pole that they can climb on. And it has shelving and cat scratching posts and all kinds of stuff. And it takes up probably about 8 feet of wall space. And at night, cats are kind of nocturnal. So they go crazy at night playing and chasing each other through the house. And at night, when I'm sitting here in the kitchen, they will run through the house and jump up onto that wall. And it makes me think somebody's coming through the door. Sometimes it really startles me, and I have to look up and think, okay, that was just the cats. But they do get real feisty when they're on that cat wall because they know that's where they're allowed to play. That was very kind of them. Pretty yarn colors they gave you too. Yes, they did. Oh, I like Karen Simply Soft. That's a beautiful yarn, and I love how it's a little bit shiny. A lot shiny, actually. Yeah, I like some Karen. In fact, when I was a young person, I used to almost exclusively buy Karen Simply Soft. That and Red Heart Super Saver. Those were the two that were like the go-tos for me. One thing I have learned about Karen Simply Soft, though, it's wonderful for hats and sweaters and scarves and things like that. But for blankets, good Lord, it can get heavy depending on the stitch. I have a blanket here that turned into a lapghan because I had to stop working on it because it got so heavy. But it's bobble stitches. And that thing got so heavy I couldn't even drag it around without, struggling a little bit. So I ended up making it a lapghan. But for anything else, smaller projects like that, it is wonderful. And it's soft. And it's easy to frog. Once in a while, you'll get a color that's a little bit splitty. But, change your hook. If something's splitting on you, you probably need a different hook. Dinah, stop barking and yelling at me. Hang on a minute and I'll go get you. Y'all, I'm going to go and get my dog. I'll be right back. Well, actually, I'm here. But I'm just going to open the door and... Come on, go night-night. Dinah, here. Night-night. Good girl. Who's a good girl? You want some water? I think you need some water. Come on. There you go. Good girl. Night-night. Maybe things have settled down just a little bit now. I got 2 kids in bed and 2 animals in bed. There it is. And the rest of the night belongs to me. Well, me and y'all. Have you tried AliExpress? I never have, Mona. I never have. I've seen it, run across web pages, that'll route you to that when you Google something and that, but I've just never used it. I don't know why, honestly. I know a lot of people do and seem to be quite happy with it. Of course, I know that a lot of that comes from overseas, and I don't know now that I don't know if the tariffs have gone into effect yet. But now, if they have, I don't know what the pricing would look like, or if you'd have to pay, like, when it comes through customs, or if it's all embedded in the price. I don't know how that's going to work, other than the fact that we're all getting screwed and somebody's getting rich off of it. Just saying. You can believe me, somebody's getting rich off of it. Those rich people don't do anything without an ulterior motive to make them more money. And I wish them the best. You believe that? I wish them a nice, boring middle-class life. How's that? Because honestly, that's what I have. And I have never been happier in my entire life. I have a great marriage. I have great kids. I have beautiful grandchildren. I'm able to stay home and be what most would call retired. Even though I stayed home with my kids and raised them for 25 years. That's what I wanted to do. That was my mission, was just to be a mom. And I succeeded at that. Thankfully, I was in a position where, I was able to stay at home with my kids. Now, we didn't, there was a lot of sacrifice involved in that decision. We didn't have fancy cars and new TVs and great furniture and all the things, My house is still early attic. That's what I call my decorating style, early attic. That's because most of my stuff is secondhand. I don't care. I would like to get a new sofa, though. I want to spend the money on a new lazy boy sofa that'll last me a good long time. Still, that's something that's on the list of things to accomplish. And it doesn't really matter to me when it gets accomplished. The most important thing to me is making sure that the kids have what they need for right now. You know, I got one in college and one in high school, and their time with me is short. And I don't mean, you know, I just mean that they're going to be living their own lives, and they won't need me as much in the near future. So I want to do all the things that I think I'm responsible for while they're here. And then after they move on with their lives, then I'll do other stuff. And I'm okay with that. And I was very lucky to marry a man who had that same value that I had as far as the kids and being able to raise them and stay at home with them, and who was willing to make the sacrifices that it took financially to be able to do that. You know, we have 4 cars. They're all paid for. None of them are new. None of them are, oh gosh, the oldest car we have is a 90 something truck. That's Murphy's truck. Violet drives the newest car, and it's a 2006. It's 20 years old. You've got a truck that's a 90 something, 90, I think it's a 99, 98. And then we've got a 1999 Mitsubishi. They all run. They all get us from point A to point B. They all look okay. You know, they show in their age, but still they do their job. A lot of people that are out there working their tails off, and they're so head over heels in debt that they, you know, they make $50,000 a year and they've got a $1,200 a month car payment. Make that make sense. I can't make that make sense. But I know that there are some things that are more important to people, you know, like a new car. That's not important to me. But for some people, that is important. If you don't have any other responsibilities except to yourself, I think that it's fine to buy a new car if that's what you want to do and you can afford it. I'm just trying to say that my values for my family are different. And I'm okay with driving. Well, I don't drive, but I'm okay with my family having a bunch of old cars. Here where I live, it's a benefit to have an older car because anything that's 10 years and newer, the taxes and the registration is ridiculously high. But if you, after 10 years, they don't charge you something, and our tags every year are about 30, 40 bucks for each vehicle. My daughter paid $522 for her taxes just last month. That's how I know the price, because I still remember her griping to me about it. I said, well, baby, trade that car in and get you something that's not so expensive. She drives a, what do they call the Toyota? It's the big SUV, whatever the name of that is. And her husband just bought a brand new Jeep. Oh my gosh. But you know, they don't have kids. They're living their life, making themselves happy. So, Mona, what kind of stuff have you tried the AliExpress? I don't know how I got off on that tangent. Sorry if I bored y'all to death. How do you pick up the... Well, there's this goopy stuff here. And you got this pin that's got like a hole in the bottom of it. Right here. So, you push it like this, and you get some of that goopy stuff stuffed in that hole. And then you just touch it to the top of the diamond and see how it sticks. And then you just put it on the thing. And you'll feel it when this goopy stuff starts getting low or you need to redo it. I don't know what they call the goopy stuff. I really don't. I guess I could look at the box and tell you in a minute. But you'll feel it in your pen and the way it picks them up when you're running low and you need to do it again. But they send you a lot of this. I mean, like, a little bit goes a long ways. So they send you this, and then I got another one of these in this particular packet. Now, I have some of this left over from other projects that I've done. So I've never used a whole square for one project, if that makes sense. You had a friend who did bead art, entered into the state fair, placed but didn't win. But he could draw in X's, like how a oh yeah, oh wow, freehand note. Oh wow, that is cool, Mike. Well, Mona, if you find out how AliExpress works, let me know. Because it just looks hard to use to me. I've been to their site. To me, it's confusing. And I don't know how it works. Oops. But you know, I get confused pretty easy when it comes to technology, so there's that. F and F. What number was that? 6. Shut the front door. 31. Okay. I think I've dropped one of my little packets of beads. Huh. I guess it's not important right now. It'll turn up. And when Mona, when you get the kits, they all come with everything you need. You don't need to buy. Well, the only thing I would buy is these baggies, like I said. But it comes with this. It comes with enough of this. It comes with your tray. Sometimes it'll be this kind of tray. Sometimes it'll look like this. See, I've got 2 of these from other projects. And I have two of these this was from another project. So everything that you need to do a painting is in the kit. Now, if you don't happen to have any of those baggies, you could do one bag of beads at a time and just go over your whole painting and fill it in, all the symbols of that color, until you run out, or until you run out of usually you'll have more beads than your project needs. I mean, I've never run out of beads on any project I've done. Or I say beads, they're not beads, they're called drills, and or diamonds. So I don't know why I started calling them beads. That's a misnomer. But that's one thing I love about this particular type of project, is because everything you need is right here. And I know there's a lot of diamond painters on YouTube who have all the cool accessories, and that's great. I'm glad that they do. It's just that all the accessories that come for this type of project that doesn't come in the box are just convenience things. Like, okay, let me give you a for instance. I bought this on Amazon. And this is basically it's a pretty version of this. And it also comes with these little things come out. And one of them, this one places one bead at a time. They have other, what do they call them? Multi-placers, where you can put 3 beads down at a time, or 9 drills down at a time. And this thing here, what it does is it lines everything up for you. If you got a little bit crooked or something, you just push it over like this and straighten your stuff up like this. See, that's one right there that needed to be straightened. And honestly, Mona, I don't think that this would mess with your hand too much either. It doesn't hurt mine at all, and I've done it for hours at a time before. Now, it'll hurt my shoulder because I lean on my shoulder when I'm doing it. But heck, crocheting hurts my shoulder too. Everything hurts my shoulder. But it never hurts my hands. I'm going to have to add some more. I'd be vacuuming up those from your carpets. You know what I do? Well, I do vacuum underneath my table about twice a day because my dogs track in dirt and shed and all that stuff. But when they land on the table, I just stick them over here I've got this flat surface over here. And I just did something really, what did I just do? 22. I poured the wrong color in the tray, y'all. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Please tell me. Oh my gosh, I did do that. Yikes. That was dumb. So now I've mixed up 2 different colors. That'll be fun to fix eventually. See what happens when you get distracted. It's okay. Not a big deal. It's okay, y'all. Not a big deal. What I'll do is when it's time to do that lighter color again, I'll just do them until we get down to the very little bits, and then I'll be able to separate them. So I'm not worried about it at all. I'll just stick this into its own little Ziploc bag that I've got under my counter, put the whole tray and everything in there with it, and then I'll know what to do with it. Shoot, that happened to me with my first project that I did, and I spent 15 minutes putting the wrong color on the wrong symbol. You know what I did? I did not care. I just left it the way it was. And that's a really cool thing about these projects, too. Um, the colors are pixelated, basically. So if you do put the wrong colors in a spot, it'll look like it's meant to be there because the color next to it is so similar in most cases, especially if you're just working on a background. It wouldn't matter if I reversed all these colors. It would still look the same in the long run. Just the colors would be in, I mean, the shades of this color would be in a different spot. I need to get me a little, like a project book where I can, or that has like protectors slide, where I can slide my projects in the little protectors and maybe keep it like a portfolio. That's what I'm after. That's the word I'm after. Like an art portfolio, only with diamond paintings in it. I think that would be kind of cool. That way I could keep them safe. The ones I don't want to use for decoration or what have you or give away, I could keep them safe and finished and neatly put away. Goodness, I'm gonna get some tea. Y'all, I'm so thirsty I might sound like a horse drinking out of a trough. If I do, let me know and I'll quit. I'm trying to back away from the microphone as much as I can. Have you ever seen those eating channels where they put the microphone as close to their mouth and throat as possible and you hear all those eating sounds? Oh my gosh, it makes me want to throw up, y'all. It's vile, absolutely vile. But you know, some people really like that, and I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. Shoot, I can't listen to Wesley chewing something crunch like potato chips or something. I'll look at him and say, "Could you go somewhere else and do that, please?" I mean, it's like nails on a chalkboard for me. But back there. I would. That's what happens, Mona, whenever you start running out of goopy stuff. You'll go to pick one up and it won't pick it up, but you think it did. And then you lay down nothing. And you're like, what the heck just happened to it? But sometimes if you'll kind of turn it around a little bit, it'll work better. Like, just keep turning it in your hand so that you get all sides of the circle that picks up the drills. See, there's one. Missed it. Mona, if you're still here, were you in my live stream when I told everybody about my son breaking his foot? He he's doing a little better now. He's still having a hard time walking with the boot on, and he's still in a little bit of pain, but he's getting more mobile with every day that passes. And he intends to go to work on Friday. It's only a 4-hour shift, so I think he'll be okay. The boss has agreed to allow the other people in the kitchen to help him with dishes that are high up, because he surely can't get on a step stool to put dishes away. But anything that's his level, of course, he'll be able to do. And he's also agreed that if there's any downtime, that he'll be able to sit down and prop his foot up. Look at that. There's some... Shut up. There's a bug on there. Oh my God, where are all these gnats coming from? Ugh. Well, he's in there now. I'll have to get a toothbrush when I'm done and get him out. That's one thing that I've learned. If you get dust or debris in these painting things, after you're finished with them, you can go through with a toothbrush and lightly, go over it, and it'll get anything out of the creases. Now, I wouldn't advise spilling, diet soda or something like that in there, but I might or might not have dropped rice in mine while I was eating dinner before. Got a little bit of gravy in there or something. Excuse me. If you're new to the channel, I'd appreciate it if you would like and subscribe to the video. I'm the Gulf Coast Granny, and I garden and I do crafty stuff and I cook on a budget, all of it on a budget for the most part. I even do a little bit of teaching folks how to save money if you're interested in that. Usually I do live streams at around 9 to 10 o'clock at night, depending on what night it is. I've been doing a lot more work on my YouTube channel lately, and I'm trying to grow it. So if you're interested, please subscribe and go visit the channel. Watch a few videos and see if it's something you might like. We have a really nice community of people on this channel. I can't say that I've ever had any real issues out of anybody. Everybody's kind and thoughtful and polite to each other, and that is one reason that I love doing YouTube so much, is the people that I've met along the way have really enriched my life tremendously. So I stick around and try to give my viewers what they want to see within my ability to do so. How's that? Where did that go? Oh, there it is. Sometimes these little boogers will just fly out of here and land sideways, and they're very difficult to see when they're standing on their end, like on the very edge. Thank you so much, Jane. You're interested in saving money? Girl, I've got a video on my channel where I show how I do my budget. I forget the name of it, but it's in there. But I can do some money saving videos. In fact, I should make you a box. Let me show you what I got. I'm going to have to put this over so I don't get my box in that sticky stuff. But this is a $1,500 savings challenge. And that's a bonus envelope, just in case I come up with an additional $100 somewhere. Don't think that'll happen, but if a 20 lands in it, that'll be great. And I made this on my computer on Canva, and it says She Shed Savings. And I need a shed in the backyard, and after the garden's done, I'm going to use this money to buy the shed that I want. And I'm just going to keep, basically, once I fill this up, if I need more, I'll add more and I'll do it again. But I've got these envelopes that have all these numbers on it. Right now, Um, I only have 2 envelopes filled. I've got number 50 and number 30. And the rest of them will take time to fill up, but that's how I save money. Is I add amounts to these envelopes. Now this one is kind of this is actually a smaller savings than what I usually do, but it's bigger numbers than I usually use. I've got another one where it's numbers 1 through 50, and I'll show you that one too. I don't know if you've ever seen a 50 envelope challenge on YouTube, but that's where I got the idea from, was YouTube. This says 100 envelope challenge, but it's not. I have a 100 envelope challenge in here, but I'm not using it at this time. This one is 100 envelopes, and it's got 1 through 100 labeled on each envelope. It's very, very tiny to see, and I don't like using this one because it is so small. But there's my 50 envelope challenge so far. And these envelopes are numbered 1 through 50, and so are these envelopes here. And I made all of these as well. And let's see what I got here. There we go. And right now I've got numbers 1 through 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, number 6. I lost that envelope because it used to match these, so I had to use a different one. 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13. Oops, there's number 10 right there. So I've got 1 through 13 done, and I'll just keep going until I have 50 envelopes saved, filled up. Now, I've also got like number 1, number 51, and then number 2, number 52. And what I did was I put 2 numbers on in case I ever decided to do the 100 envelope. I would put $1 in this one, and then I'd put $51 in it again. And by the time they were all filled up, I'd have over $5,000. But 50 envelopes equals $1,275. So when these are all filled up, that's how much money I'll have. And I really, really like doing this. Sometimes it's a really slow process, and other times before I know it, I've got them filled up, and then I've got some money to do a project with, or buy something for the house, or usually it's not a lot of money that I save, but in the long run, it helps me get things accomplished that I want done. You could never get into it when you saw it on YouTube. Is that what you mean? I'll tell you what I'm trying to do with that 50 envelope challenge is do it as many times as it takes to put a down payment on a house. So I just fill it up over and over again, and whenever it gets full, I take the money to the bank and start over again. And at my bank, they allow us to have multiple, like, buckets. That's the only way I know how to say it. It's basically like doing account, like say you have a savings account. They'll break it up into sections like savings account number 9924-A-B-C. And so I have a Christmas savings fund and a house savings fund and a college savings fund and a household savings fund, all under this same account number, but it's broke up into different sections so I know where to put the monies that I save. And that way I'm not spending money from one account. Like, I'm not using Violet's college fund or Murphy's college fund in order to pay for, say, the garden or a new sofa or a refrigerator or something like that. So it really helps me stay organized. The bank does. The bank helps me stay organized. And all of our savings money, I don't put with our bill money. It's in two totally different banks. So that way none of it gets crossed up or mistaken for other funds. And not only that, but I mostly I don't use my debit card very much. I'm a cash person. And the reason for that is the same reason that they started giving little cards at casinos and stuff. You know, you used to be able to put quarters in the slot machines or nickels or whatever. Well, that way you could keep track of what you were spending. And once you got to a certain point, you could say, okay, that's enough, you know, or I've won so much and now I can go home, or I've spent so much. And same way with banks. That's why they started the debit cards and stuff like that. So, I mean, it is easier. I do pay all of my bills with my credit card or debit card, whatever. Some bills go on the credit card, some go on the debit card. But I also pay my credit card off monthly. I don't carry a balance because it's a waste of money, in my opinion. Paying interest on a balance is just throwing your money away. So my insurance payment goes on the credit card, and so does one other payment. Oh, our gas money. All of our gas that we use goes on that. And the rest of it is just auto pay from the bank, you know. But then all the rest of our money comes home every Friday. And, you know, I don't keep a lot of money in the house at one time. Usually, if I get too much and I'm uncomfortable, I'll take it all to the bank. And I do have a safe where things stay safe, you know. They're not out in the open. And somebody would really have to tear this place apart to find it, if they were so inclined. But, you know, I just like doing business that way. Cash. I go out to dinner, I don't use a card. I give them money. When I tip somebody, I don't use my card. One of my kids warned me about that. I have kids that have worked in the service industry and still do. And they always told me, don't tip on your card because we have to pay taxes on that. Tip us in cash and we don't have to claim it. So I do that. But I've just learned all of these strategies over the years. I was not always a good saver, and I was not always a credit card person, and it took me getting into a lot of trouble and, you know, being just about destitute trying to pay things off to learn my lesson, and I learned it the hard way. So now Try to keep everything very easy. And the funny thing is, these envelopes that I have, they are sacred to me. Once money goes in it, it does not come out until the envelopes are full. Now I do have like fake dollar bills, fake hundreds, fake 50s, fake 20s, like Monopoly money almost. But it looks real. And like when I get too much, say I have $400 in my envelopes, and I start getting uncomfortable with how much money's in the house, I'll replace it with fake money and then take all the money that is real and put it in the bank. But that way I still have a running tally of how much money that I've saved. In addition to coloring in the little numbers, I have fake dollar bills that I can actually count if I need to. I also budget every payday instead of by the month. And I have a list here of where everything goes. And every penny is accounted for. It's called a zero-based budget. So basically, when you get paid, you write down and you tell every dime where to go. If there's money left over, it can't just be dangling out there in space. You have to give it a job, whether it's in your savings account, whether it's to be a placeholder, just, in case you need 20 bucks on the fly for going out with your friends, maybe 10 bucks, emergency money. Every single dollar has a job. I never, ever get paid without knowing where every dime goes and what it's going to do for me, either right now or in the future. Hi, Lydia. How are you tonight? Thank you for coming in and hanging out with us a little bit. You're in on the very beginning of this enormous diamond painting that I got a couple of months ago, right after Christmas. And I finally got the kitty cat diamond painting finished, and the other one, I forget what other one. The chickens. I worked on the chickens, and now I'm doing this one. And this is my first night of working on it. Look, y'all, I'm sitting here. I just heard my dog's stomach growling. How funny is that? I know she's not hungry. I just fed her a couple of hours ago for her dinner. And she's been outside. No, Tummy's just talking to her. Mona, which part are you going to have to learn how to do? All of it or just parts of it? Just curious. Because I can make these envelopes for you and have Poppy print off I have a laminating machine and everything. And I have these little boxes. I've probably got 30 of them. So if you want a box, I'll send you one. Just maybe so you can try it out. Maybe do a either a 25 or what, probably a 50 envelope challenge. You know what a lot of people do? I don't like to do it this way, but a lot of times people will, I'm going to use the card. A lot of times people will fill up the first half like up to $20, and then they'll start filling in down here. And that way they're not having to come up with $50 at a time, you know, $40 at a time, $30 at a time. They're going all the way from 1 through 20 and just repeating that and then moving it down, and eventually it'll fill up. So you can do it in small amounts or in large increments. When I say large, I mean, you know, to me, $50 is a large increment, honestly. I watched one lady on YouTube who does savings challenges almost every single day. It's I don't know how she does it. I've never known anybody who had enough money that they could go to the bank and get cash every day and put it in envelopes to save. I've never known anybody in that situation. But she does it, and I don't want to say that she recycles her money and makes it look like it's more than what it is. I don't want to say that at all. I did, but I don't think that she does. I don't want to think that she does that. But you know, when you're trying to make content and you say you run out of money and you still have to put something out there, some people will do that. But I don't think this lady does, honestly. Some folks will do anything to make content. Gosh, look at all those family channels that exploit their kids and talk about the most personal things and show their kids running around in bathing suits and in compromising positions that, you know, a certain type of folk would enjoy way more than the average person should, if you know what I mean. So I don't think that's the right thing to do with your children. You know, my dad always used to say, if you're not going to do business, don't advertise. And I think that holds true. People putting their kids out and advertising them for business when poor kids aren't even old enough to make a decision about whether they want to be on YouTube or not. They're just doing what their parents tell them to. So anyhow, Mona, if you want a box, let me know and I'll start on it for you this weekend, okay? I'd be happy to make one for in fact, I have other envelopes too. I'll show you that too. Let's see. Nope, not that one. Where is it? Crap. That's odd. So this is a small wallet binder, basically. And that's my grocery shopping money. Obviously, I've already spent it. This is for personal expenses spent. This is for if we want to dine out. Spent. What is that thing for Wesley in there? Let me see. It's nothing. It's just a piece of paper that says Wesley. This is for pet food and vet appointments. Spent. This is for, it says beauty and cosmetics, but honestly, this is mostly just for haircuts in the family. I put $30 a payday in there. Spent. Actually, I didn't spend this. Neither one of the guys needed haircuts this week or this pay period. So I took that $30 and I put it in a savings. I put it in my savings boxes. This is for just shopping, random shopping that we might need to do throughout the pay period. And I always put $50 in there. It is spent. Thankfully, Friday is payday. But I have everything I need, so I don't need to spend it, Jessica, this I got on Amazon, and it comes with these little envelopes here. But I made I guess they call them, oh geez, what's the name of it? I made these little cards to put in there, and I laminated it, and it goes in front of the money. It's just like little labels. Dashboards, that's what they call them, dashboards. And then I keep all of my bank cards in here too. And then ouch. I have this one, which is really cool. This is a little bit bigger than the other one. And this one has these kinds of envelopes in them. And I made these. And they're super simple to make. But this is college money for Violet. This one is college money for Murphy Man. And this one is for stuff I need for the house. A vacuum cleaner, a fence, and a rug. And those are the prices I put on them. Actually, what's funny is that fence did not cost me that much. So I was tickled about that. Oh, I'm sorry. I've got it the wrong direction. These are some of my fake dollar bills that I was telling you about. This is 100. It says play money right there, see? And there's a bunch of hundreds. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I made some of them look like thousands because at one point I was doing a $5,000 challenge and I didn't want all of that money in my house, It's dangerous to have that kind of cash in your house. So I used those for that. And I've got another one here for my sinking funds. Sinking funds are money that you're going to have to spend. Okay, let me show you. I found it. It's over here. I have them out because payday is soon and I needed to do my budget, and I did that this afternoon. But, okay, this is my biggest one, and I love this thing. This is for stocking my pantry. And then, hi Jessica, I'm sorry I didn't acknowledge you, but this is for band fees that I have to pay every year. They are usually the same amount of money no matter what. So I know they're coming, and I just save every month. I take the amount that I owe. Like this year it's going to be, let me think, about $460 for band fees, right? So I take $460 and I divide it by 26 paychecks, and that's how much I put in that envelope. Um, Same thing with Christmas. Um, I do the same thing with birthdays. I do the same thing with car maintenance. See, there's a little bit right there. This Millie's birthday is in 2 weeks, so this money is taken out, so I know that that's for her birthday. The rest of it's in the envelope. Um, this is car maintenance. This is for when I had my puppy. When he was a little baby puppy, I was saving for vet visits and stuff like that in here, and extra stuff that he needed, like toys, and he doesn't get an envelope anymore. That one's empty. This is for household stuff, and this is for back to school because I have to buy school clothes for my son still. But the car maintenance also includes tags. Yeah, tags and registration every year. But yeah, that's my, but that's how I budget, and that's my method. I take a certain amount of money and I leave it in the bank for the bills and for yeah, bills. Once in a while, if I have to do a grocery order from Walmart, I will leave money in the bank for groceries if I have to have a delivery. But if Poppy and I go to the grocery store, I use cash. And I don't know what that card is doing in there. Look, I have my custom Gulf Coast Granny Cash App card. Isn't that cool? I put the mom, that's my signature on everything, is the mom. But it doesn't go there. This is my savings. Also, I have this envelope, and that's called Granny's Fun Money. And that's where this goes. And all I have is $50, y'all. But every payday, I get $50 and Poppy gets $50 just for BS money. And if we want something that's not household related or kid related, we save our $50 a payday until we have enough money to get it. That includes computers, phones, whatever it is that we need or want. It's mostly for wants, not needs. It's mostly for wants. You know, like Poppy's boat that he's building that will never get done. Yeah, that. But y'all, I'm not normally a very organized person, and I always wanted to be my whole life. I wanted to be that person who could be super uber organized, and when I discovered this method of taking care of our finances, it turned me into a really, really organized lady when it comes to that one particular thing. And I'm so happy that I discovered this method of saving and paying bills and just being a responsible human, you know? Just being a responsible person. It works for me. It's not for everybody. There are a lot of people that really just want to use their debit card to do everything. There's people that want to use credit cards and get points, you know, because I know there's a lot of perks to using credit cards, like for the cash back and that kind of stuff. But don't forget, when you're thinking about cash back on your cards or miles or whatever, don't forget that they're charging you an exorbitant interest rate to borrow that money. And if you carry a balance, you're paying through the nose for those air miles or those points or that cash back. You're paying for it. But only if you carry a balance. Thank you, Jessica. Y'all, my cats are tearing my house down. I can hear them bumping and thumping all. Just a word of advice to people who don't have a lot of cats. 5 is too many. 5 is noisy. I used to love cats because, they're so independent and self sufficient, and you don't really have to do a lot with cats except pay attention to them when they want you to, which is rare. But with 5, it's like constant chaos. They are kittens. Well, when I say kittens, I guess maybe I'm being a little generous. They are, most of them are still less than a year old. They are, the oldest one is almost a year old. I think April 9th, she will be a year old. That's Birdie. Birdie's my sweet girl. She's the sweetest cat we've got. Ivy she's a little gangster. She don't tolerate nothing off of nobody. I should have named her Ratchet. That's what I should have named her. Because she plays dirty. And then we have Marnie. Marnie's our handicapped cat. She only has 3 legs. She had to have one amputated. We found her in the neighbor's yard, very injured. And my baby girl rescued her and got her well and kept her. And what other one did I leave? Oh, Boots. Boots is a nice kitty too. But that's Murphy's cat. And will forever be Murphy's cat. He is never happy unless Murphy is home and he is near his Murphy. And then there's Spooky. We got her on Halloween. We found her in my daughter's neighborhood as a stray, just wandering around, darting across the road, nearly getting hit by cars, and we brought her home with us, and she's been here since Halloween. She's the newest addition. Every time I tell this family's a sucker for cats, apparently. And what happens is, especially Violet and Wesley, and they'll find a stray cat, and I'll tell them, nope, not happening. We don't need any more cats. And then they break me. And I say, all right, fine, just bring it home. Make sure you get it fixed. That's the rule. As long as they're fixed, they can stay. So far, oh, wait a minute. I'm letting the universe decide if I get a pet. I had a lime in my yard, but it ran from me. Oh, so far, lots of outside critters. Outside critters are great critters. But if you let the cat distribution system have its way with you, you'll have a kitty before too long. They seem to come out of the woodwork for me. I don't know at what point the people who live in this house are going to say, yeah, we probably have too many cats. But if I were to be honest, and I will, if I had an unlimited income and unlimited resources, I would probably have all the cats. I'm just saying. All of the cats. I'm so afraid that one day I'm going to end up some little old lady who's all alone with a hoarded house full of cats. Not a hoarded house. I don't like I don't like clutter, but I do love the cats. So basically the cats would be my hoard. I am at risk. Wow, I've gotten a lot of this done so far. I can't believe that. How quickly well, it feels quick. What time is it, you guys? Let me see. Autocorrect, you got you. Tiny, not lying kitten. Oh my goodness, it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning, y'all. Ah, shut the front door. I just broke the. Hey, Grumpus, what are you doing? What are you doing up so late? Do you just have to get up to go pee or something? It's a lot of tapioca. That's hilarious. Y'all, will now and forever be known as tapioca painting, okay? Only you, Grumpus. This is diamond painting. And it's a new hobby that I'm absolutely obsessed with. And I did a live stream last night to ask everybody what they wanted to see me diamond paint next. And this painting was the winner. It is a world map. And I am only in the very smallest corner of it right now. But over the next couple of weeks, I hope to have it completed. I don't know, this is a big one, y'all. This thing is huge. Don't say it. Don't say it, y'all. I can hear it in my head. Just passing through. That's okay. Thank you. Thank you, Grumpus. I'm about to get off of here anyway, guys. I promised myself that I was not going to stay up past midnight anymore. No more 4-hour live streams. No more torturing myself and causing myself to have insomnia. And here I have already broken my promise to myself, and I probably should be ashamed. But I'm trying to have a healthier sleep schedule and forcing myself to do it. So I think what I'm going to do now is bid you all very good night. And I'm going to thank you for coming and joining me on my stream tonight. I really, really appreciate it. And if anybody is new, please hit that subscribe button and go check out a few videos on my channel to make sure you're going to like it and want to stick around. Trying to grow the channel, so if you're interested in what you see, go ahead and hang out with us. I go live every other Saturday at about 9:30, and also on Mondays at about 9:30. And then I do various little pop-ups on these vertical live streams. I'm hoping to do them a couple of times a week, so we'll see. Definitely once a week. So you guys have a wonderful evening, and I will see you again very soon. All right? Oh, crap, y'all. I forgot how to get out of here. There. Good night.